I had some intro music for us today, and then I realized that it's licensed and I can't play it on YouTube. So you're going to have to use your imagination for the intro music. I was playing Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind, and right before I set up for the podcast, I was waiting on a package. So I was waiting on my mailman because there's some stuff I wanted to show you guys. You guys, it's going to be a good acquisitions day. My cat is hacking, so if you hear that, just ignore it. But anyway, today I needed some intro music. My dog and I were doing a impromptu dance party prior to setting up for the podcast while we were waiting on the mailman. So I guess I should start off by saying hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you. If this is your first time watching, normally I do introductions first, so I apologize, but my name's Melissa. I am coming to you from about 45 minutes north of Cincinnati. And if you made it here, you probably know by now, from all the yarn and fibery goodness that you see in the background, that this is a knitting podcast. So welcome to all new viewers. So thank you so much for joining me. And hello to all returning viewers, especially, well, all of you, but especially those of you that have been with me from the beginning. Yeah, in case you haven't noticed, my voice is back. I'm super happy and thankful for that. And because of that, today is going to be an extra long podcast. Not only because my voice is back, but because I've got a lot of stuff to show you guys. So I hope everybody had a good few weeks. I know when we left off last time, we were dealing with some hurricanes. Hurricane Harvey had just hit Texas, and Hurricane Irma was on its way. As well as the wildfires that are still continuing in the Washington, Oregon, the northwestern part of the states, as well as the southwestern part of Canada. So, as always, my thoughts are with every single one of you, and if you're watching, I hope that I can bring you a little happiness and joy to take your mind off of whatever you're dealing with today. So anyway, welcome. It's been a long 2 weeks, guys. I've got a lot has happened. I don't know if you can tell or not, but since I've gotten my voice back, my mood has been brighter, and I've been more cheery. There's a lot of stuff that's happened at work, a lot of accomplishments and firsts for me, so that's kind of up my confidence level a little bit. And I have some really exciting stuff planned knitting-wise coming up. You know what? I forgot one of my whips. I'll have to run and get it before I get to that section. I was just thinking about that. Anyway, I've got my coffee. Before I show you this, if you have young ones or you're not a fan of the F-bomb, look away. Levi bought me I think it's supposed to be a wine tumbler, but we're not big wine drinkers, so we use it for our iced coffee. But he showed his on Facebook. His has a blue top, and he got me the pink one. But how cute is this? If you want to know where he got these, I don't remember the name of the shop, and I don't want to say it incorrectly, so go back onto his Instagram. He is WTF Knitting. And go back a few posts, and he has a picture of his, and he tagged the maker in his post. So go follow him on Instagram, and you can find the shop that he got these from. But how adorable. I love it. I told him, I said, so that way when Jason comes up and he wants me to do something and I'm knitting, I can just be like, whoop. I am in rare form today. So let me tell you a little bit about what I'm drinking. So my husband and I have a Keurig, and we use Donut Shop coffee, mainly because we can get a pack of 100 from Costco for like $40 because they put it on sale every couple months. And a 100 pack normally lasts us about 2 months. we drink a lot of coffee. So we drink between 1 to 2 cups a day. I drink more than my husband does. And since I switched to tea in the evenings, I'm drinking less coffee. But it has been a coffee-filled week, let me tell you. So anyway, so that's what I'm drinking is Donut Shop coffee. And I use a lot of creamer, and they recently came out with a Reese's creamer. And I've been scouring my grocery store, waiting for it. And last night we went to a different grocery store. Hopefully the camera's not crooked. Oh well. If it is, I'm sorry. You're just going to have to deal with it. I'm in rare form today, guys. So anyway, we went to a different Kroger last night, and they had it. And so I picked it up. And when I first started drinking it this morning, this is the same coffee I made this morning with my donut. So I made it, I think, around, I don't know, 10 or 11 or so. I woke up, I got some work done, and then I took a shower and did some stuff around the house. So before I ate my breakfast, it was probably 10:30, 11 o'clock, and that's when I made my coffee. I made a bagel and had coffee. Anyway, I told you it's going to be a chatty episode. So the first couple sips I had of it, I really liked it. I really got hit with that Reese's taste at the end of the coffee. The more I drink it, the less I like it. And I think it's because it leaves this weird aftertaste in my mouth. So I've been rotating between this and water all day, with a few mints in between because, I'm not a big fan of chocolate coffees. Actually, chocolate flavored drinks I'm not a fan of. So tea, coffee, whatever. I do like chocolate milk. But so if you're not a fan of chocolate coffee, then this is not for you. I think it's mainly just that novelty effect of getting that like sudden surge of Reese's in your mouth with your taste buds. I'm gonna move this. Oh, I want to move it so you guys can say hi, Helga. Everybody say hi, Helga. Oh, you're hiding. There you go. And as you can see, remember when I told you I bought those bee shoes and I was going to wear them? They're still sitting here from when I podcasted. I should have worn them to Wool Gathering, and I would have if I would have remembered to take them downstairs. I need to take them downstairs and put them with my other shoes. So anyway, we should probably talk some knitting stuff. So I have blocked a few things. So I don't have any real FOs. These are all FOs that you've seen in the past. They just haven't been blocked. So I blocked them and woven the ends. I had 4 projects that were not blocked, and I got 2 of them blocked. So the 4 projects were, we had Doodler, Starting Point, Mystery Knit Along by Hohilo Katali, Color Craving, and Color Blender. So I got the Starting Point blocked and ends woven in, and I got the Color Blender wrap blocked and ends woven in. And then it started raining. I block outside during the summertime because it dries a lot quicker, and it's been raining the last couple days. It's a nice day today, but the forecast is calling for isolated thunderstorms, so I didn't block anything today. But I think tomorrow's supposed to be nice, so hopefully tomorrow, and oh no, not tomorrow because I'm going into the office tomorrow, which means it's going to be a busy day for me, and I'm not going to get any crafting done tomorrow. But Friday and hopefully Saturday will be nice, and I can get some blocking done. And Helga, why does your eye look weird? I think it's just the way she's sitting. There you go. So she looks weird. I don't know why. Anyway, so the first thing that I blocked was my Color Blender, but I'm out of order today, so I'm going to show you my Starting Point first. It's up, and it is folded in half right now. This thing is massive. So you may remember me knitting on this. Let's see if I can kind of go this way. This thing is huge. Like I said, it's folded in half, but both sides look the same. So It's so big. I can't look at that lace. I love the color combination itself, like the way that the colors were blended and the way it was constructed is genius. But when you throw in these little like eyelet sections and then the little chevron eyelet sections, it's this wrap is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. I think what I'm gonna do is fold it in half this way, so like this, and wear it as a scarf this winter. I mean, you can use it as a wrap too. It's so cozy, guys. And I'm like really on top of the camera today, so you can't really tell, but this thing is so cozy, and it's nice to just wrap around you, and it just kind of drapes over you. And I'm a big girl and it covers me completely, so if you're skinny, this would be like a blanket on you. But yeah, it's super nice. I use Sweet Georgia yarns in the Tough Love sock, and I don't think I can remember the names, but I'll give it a shot. You're gonna make fun of me, Levi, for one of them. Anyway, this white color is Birch, blue color is Glacier. This multicolored purple right here is Acai. Then the gray is Charcoal. And I have no idea what this color is. Maybe some kind of berry color. I don't remember. I'm probably completely off base there. But anyway, so I love how this turned out. I went to Wool Gathering, which I'll talk about in a little bit. I went to Wool Gathering this past weekend, and they had a lot of these. Oh, there we go. That really shows off the lace. There were a lot of these hanging up as samples. And while they were all really pretty, and I loved looking at all of, well, I would say most of them. There was the one or two that just weren't my colors. I love mine the best out of all of them. So it's a great feeling when you knit something that just like speaks to your personality, and I don't know, you just really enjoy. This is probably going to be a Christmas gift, to be honest. It wasn't intended to be a Christmas gift when I knit it, but after I blocked it and I wove in the ends and I was really able to get a good look at it, there is a particular person in mind that I have in mind that this would be a perfect Christmas gift for. In fact, most of my knits that you've seen this year are probably going to be Christmas gifts. Mainly because I don't have time to knit Christmas gifts, and I've been really selfish, so I'm just going to gift the stuff that I didn't finish. And apparently this has been the year of big knits, because this other one is not as long, but it's another big cozy like wrap blanket type thing. So this is my color blender wrap, and it is blocked, and the ends have been woven in. And I mentioned this before, but it's really, really difficult to show this and how fantastic it looks in person. This wrap, these colors together, it's like a muted rainbow, and it looks amazing in person. So much better. If it looks good on screen, it looks probably 10 times better in real life. So I've shown this a few times, but I wanted to show you it blocked and finished. And with both of these garments, I say garments because they're huge. Both of these knitted items, I didn't actually, when I say blocked, I didn't actually pin out anything. I just laid them flat. So I think, yeah. So I basically just soaked them and laid them out flat. So this was made using Honeybee Knits yarn. So in case you didn't know, I have a shop on Etsy called Honeybee Knits Co. And a few of you have again asked me for the link to that, and I will respond to you individually and let you know what the link is. But just to let you know, at the beginning and end of this video, the exact web address is shown in one of the slides, and you can just pause the video and type that in exactly as it's shown into your web browser, and it'll bring up my shop. So if for some reason I don't get around to responding to you. So I'm gonna attempt to tell you all the colors. This is on my Queen Bee base, which is an 80/20 superwash merino nylon base. It is a 2-ply yarn. And I will say that I'm going to skip every other section because every other section is blending the color before and the color after. So there's really no need to do every single section. But so this first section is called Seaward's Diary. All of these colors are part of my Reading Rainbow collection, which are the inspiration came from books on my bookshelf. So this is Seaward's Diary. It's a Dracula reference. We have Orange Pips, which is actually way more orange in person. It looks kind of like mustardy in the camera, but it is orange in person. And this is a Sherlock Holmes reference. And then we have Yellow Brick Road. And Thanks for All the Fish, which is a, Yellow Brick Road obviously is Wizard of Oz. Thanks for All the Fish is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Hark, which is a Moby Dick reference. This is a really popular colorway. A friend of mine, her Instagram name I think is Kate G Designs. She ordered this colorway for me and she knit a pair of socks and they look fantastic. So if you're interested, go check those out on Instagram. So this is Hark, which again is a Moby Dick reference. Castles in the Sky, which is a Little Women's reference. And then Enchanted Rose, which is a Beauty and the Beast reference. And of course Enchanted Rose I think is my favorite because it's pink and I am a huge pink person, so I had to figure out a way to get pink into the wrap. So there you go. That's it. And I love it. This one is not as long, so it doesn't wrap as much as the other one, but you can still, like, you could put a, like a pin, you could pin it together and it makes sort of like a poncho. It's hard to show because the camera is so close, but anyway, this is most likely going to be another Christmas gift, unless I find that I use it a lot, because I have been using it a lot on the couch just as a lap blanket, because it's been getting a little chilly around here. And I hope you can't hear my fan in the background, because as I say that it's been getting chilly, it's really hot in here today. So I've got my fan on. Okay. So those are the FOs I have, which again, they were old FOs, but they're blocked and ends woven in. So I figured I'd show you guys how they look completely finished. We are going to move on to whips because I have 3, kind of. Yeah, I would consider it a whip. So the first whip I'm going to show is my What the Fade, and I am housing that in my amazing WTF knitting project bag. Oh my God, you guys, in case you've been living under a rock or just haven't had time to check Instagram, Levi opened his shop this week and he sold out within 24 hours. I was so proud of him because he sold 30 bags, I think 29 or 30. He sold a lot of bags and his bags are amazing. And I don't think I got around to mentioning this on my podcast because I was kind of letting him handle the PR for it. But I dyed yarn to match 3 bags. So this is one bag that I dyed yarn to match. Got something on it. And I should have brought them up, but I didn't. If you're interested in seeing them, you can. Levi has posted them on his Instagram, as well as they are in my shop as dyed to order right now. So I dyed up a skein to match this bag, and it's called What Killer Bees. I have another bag. It's in my giveaway box right now. I'm not going to dig it out, but he gifted it to me as a giveaway for you guys. And I dyed up yarn for that to match, and it's called Victoria Queen Bee, and I think that's my favorite one that I dyed out of all three. It is gorgeous. It is the perfect classic colors. It's got light pink, and of course it's got pink in it because I dyed it, but it's got light pink, it's got navy, gold. Gorgeous. And I have it available, each of these skeins I'm talking about I have available on 3 different bases. Hi Izzy. Hi. What you doing? Anyway, so I have it on 3 bases. I have it on a DK base, I have it on my Queen Bee base, which is an 80-20 base, and then I also have it on Sparkle base, which is 75-20 and then 5, and it's got Silver Selena. So yeah, and then I also dyed up, you guys are probably already seen the squirrel fabric, which I'm begging him to make me a bag out of because it is the cutest damn thing I've ever seen, but everybody wants one, and he only had, I think, 3, so it's a hot commodity, guys. So if you were able to score the squirrel fabric, congratulations to you, because I know a lot of people were out for that bag in particular. And I dyed yarn to go with the kit. And that one turned out really beautifully as well. So please go check those out in my shop. I have them all available as dye to orders, and currently you can pick your base. Right now I do have my dye to order set to ship in 2 to 3 weeks. However, you can ask my friend Krista on Instagram because she ordered, I think, 3 skeins for me as dye to orders. And I was able to get them out to her in, I think, 5 or 6 days. So depending on when you order, because I reserve my dyeing for the weekends, typically I will have those dyed and out to you within less than a week. The only reason I put the 2 to 3 weeks on there is because in case something happens, or in case I have something planned, like this past weekend where I went to wool gathering, I won't be able to dye on those weekends. So that's the only reason I put it on there, as just in case, but more likely than not, you're going to get it sooner. So yeah. So back to the knitting. Sorry about the little shop talk intermission. If you are knitting What the Fade and you do not want to see spoilers, please turn away now. If you are not knitting it, or you want to see how mine looks, here it is. So, last time you saw this, I was here. So I have knit so much on this. I am using Hedgehog fibers, and I'll show you the colorways in a minute. But, so it is brioche. It was brioche. So she does like a brioche fade with colors A through C on the front. It is 2-color brioche, so it's different on both sides. And then D through F on the back. And I much prefer how the back is turning out to the front. I feel like the front was not as good of a fade as the back was. But I love the back. I love how the back's turning out. I don't know. So anyway, so the first 2 clues were brioche, and then the last clue, which is kind of hard to see because my stitches are scrunched up on the needle, is garter. It's a garter fade. I really did not enjoy the brioche part. I'm not a brioche knitter. I've knit it in the past. I'm a newer brioche knitter, and maybe that's why I don't enjoy it. I tend to make a lot of mistakes in knitting brioche. I knit the, I think it was called Building Blocks shawl. It was the Mystery Knit Along last year for West Knits, and that had some brioche in it, and there were a ton of mistakes. The Color Blender wrap I knit had brioche garter. There were not any mistakes in it, but that's just because it was a repeating stitch pattern. And this is too, but I don't know. But this one has a ton of mistakes in it, and I left them. They don't bother, they bother me, but not enough to go back. And my animal has obviously laid on this because there's cat fluff or dog fur all over it. But I'm going to show you a few examples. So see that right there? I didn't pick the stitch. I didn't knit the stitch correctly there, which is just a one stitch thing, so it's not obvious. There was a point where I dropped a stitch on the side and I wasn't quite sure how to pick it up, and the way I picked it up caused these yarn overs, which are fairly obvious, but I think in the big scheme of things, once it's blocked out, you're not going to be able to tell, especially when somebody's wearing this. There's another stitch that I did not knit correctly. Where'd it go? Right here, right above my finger. There was a big section I messed up, and it was fairly obvious to me the other day, and now I'm having a hard time finding it. Oh, this is probably the one that bothers me the most. Right here. I dropped a stitch, and I thought I picked it up right, and then I knit, and then I was all the way to the garter section before I saw that I hadn't picked it up right. And then catty corner to that, there's another one of those weird stitches that I knit incorrectly, so those mistakes are pretty obvious. And then there's an entire stripe here where I reversed the stitches. See it? Right here. It's pretty obvious too. More obvious on this side than the other. So anyway, there are a ton of mistakes in here with the brioche. I'm not ripping it back to fix them. My stitch count's right. Well, it was, and before I started the garter section. I haven't counted since then, so it may be off now. But it's a fairly simple shawl, so I'm just kind of fudging the mistakes when they do happen. You're not going to be able to tell in the big scheme of things. It's going to be a very large shawl, and the reason I say that is because Clue 4 comes out tomorrow. And then we skip a week, and we have Clue 5, and then the week after that is Clue 6. So there are 6 clues to this shawl, and this is only 3 clues in, so we're only halfway there, and it's already huge. We're already at like 370 stitches or something like that, 372. So let me show you the yarn. And some of this might be hard to see because I've got them in skein coats. But this is Wild Card, and all of this is Hedgehog fibers, and they're the skinny singles base. So Wild Card, that's color A. Color B is Bee's Knees. Again, it's in a skein coat, so I can only show you the end. And again, my cat must have been all up in this bag, or my dog, one or the other. So that's Bee's Knees, and it's really blowing out in the camera. I don't know. Showing, this is more of like a yellow, like where it shows all these white parts, it's got a lot of yellow in there. So it's not just like these splotches of yellow, it's actually like a yellowish base. It's just a very light yellow. That's Bee's Knees. And then we have color C, which is Typewriter, which is just black with, or white with black speckles. Then we have color D, which I believe is called Zephyr. I think it's called Zephyr. I don't know. This one's my favorite. It's white, and it's got all these pretty little colorful speckles in it, and it reminds me of like a birthday cake. When that one knits up, that one knits up my favorite. That one is my favorite when you see how it knits up. It's not my favorite in the skein, but it's my favorite when you see how it knits up. And it is called Zephyr. And then I'm trying to remember what this other one is called, because I don't... Daydream, okay. So then this one's called Daydream. And it's a light purple with some speckles. Hedgehog's famous for their speckling. And then this one is Birthday Cake, which is dark purple with speckles in it. So I'm going to show you a close-up of how I dropped my project. I'm going to show you a close-up of how the, I haven't done a big section of it yet, but you can kind of tell how the Zephyr knits up. It's this white one right here. So it's the white that's in between these purple, like lilac-y. Anyway, I really love it. I love the garter section. And it smells super good because of my lotion I used when I was knitting it, which, funnily enough, was not Tuft Woolens, which is what I normally use. Some Bath & Body Works, something or another. My husband bought it for me. I mentioned that my niece and my husband and I all went shopping a few weeks ago. It's been close to a month now. And we took her to Bath & Body Works. She had some money to spend, and they had their lotion bottles on sale for $5 each, and there was one scent that I really, really loved. So I purchased it. My husband bought it for me. And I've been using that the last couple weeks. So that's what my shawl smells like, and it smells fantastic. I will get the name of the scent for you on the next podcast because I don't remember what it is, and I know people are going to ask me. So there's that. Okay. I feel like I'm converting all of my projects into a WTF knitting bag. Because, first off, that bag that Levi gave me to give away, I might keep it. He gave me the okay to keep it, and I'm like, at first I was like, no, I'm going to give it away, But guys, I'm sorry, but I love it so much, and it hurts my heart that I'm not going to be able to get it from him again, because I don't think he's going to sew anymore with that fabric. And let's be honest, I want all of his fabrics in all of his bags. In the future, he may be sewing up more project bags, and if he does, I might buy one for a giveaway to replace this one. I just feel like this one is really supposed to be with me. And if you've seen a couple episodes ago, it's it's like this, except for the bees are a different color, and it's like a lighter base background. It's like a whitish, tan, natural background. So I really want to keep it. I might. We'll see. But anyway, this next, I have a one-of-a-kind Levi original prototype bag. Guys, look how freaking cute this is. These are his sock sacks, and he is still currently developing the perfect recipe for these. So this is not what the ones that he's going to end up selling look like. I don't even know if he's going to end up selling them. I think he is, because he's been sending me pictures of all the fabrics he's been buying. And first off, I can't imagine that he would buy that many fabrics to make bags for himself. I can't imagine that he would need that many bags. And second of all, wait until you guys see some of the stuff he has planned, because they look fabulous. Anyway, so he gifted this to me. He showed it to me, and I was like, I have to have this. And he was like, okay, it's yours. So we kind of did like a little swap. I gave him some extra skeins from the yarn I dyed up, and he gave me this. And it's his prototype, so it's super, super special. Anyway, so this Zinnia fabric is one of my favorite fabrics he's had so far, and I almost bought a kit the other day with this fabric before he told, well, I was going to buy a kit with this fabric before he told me he was giving me this one. And to be honest, I would probably use this size more anyway, so I'm really happy that he did. So he coordinates his thread with the bag, and I didn't show you on the last bag, but look at the stitching that he does. Like, the attention to detail that go into these bags is fabulous. So he coordinated the ribbing. He did like a little, when he snipped this, he did like a little angled edge just to give it a little flair. The insides of the bags are always natural, which is fantastic because it allows you to see what's going on in there better. I sent him, he was like, let me know what you think. I'm still developing the bag recipe or whatever. So I sent him a message last night, and I told him, don't change a thing. If anything, he could probably take off maybe an inch from the bottom and make it a little bit shorter. But to me, having a sock sack this size doesn't, like, let's be honest, this may be a little bit bigger if you're just doing a one at a time sock. However, there's so much room in here. This is actually the size bag that I prefer for 2 at a time socks, and it's big enough you could do a 1 skein shawl project in here, maybe even a 2 skein shawl project. So I told him I wouldn't change a thing. You could make it a little shorter if you wanted to, but it's not necessary. So I adore this bag. I adore it. And also, one of my favorite things about it is that up here for the drawstring channel, he uses the same fabric that he uses down here for it, which is a very sturdy fabric, which allows it to be turned into a yarn bowl. And I've got it crooked, and a lot of times when I like to turn my bags into yarn bowls, and a lot of times when I do that, the top just kind of collapses in like this because there's not enough structure. But between this and the fact that there's that fabric around here, it gives it enough structure to stay put. So I just knit out of it like this. So that was one of my favorite parts of this bag. So I'm really excited about these sock sacks. If he doesn't make them, if he sells them in the future, I'll be buying a lot more. If he does not sell them, I'm going to be begging him any way I can to make me some more because I want more. So anyway, I cast these socks on last night. Today's the 20th, so I have about 10 days to get these socks off the needles because these are my September Desert Vista Dye Works socks. And I don't know that I'm going to be doing these next year. Not that I don't want to. I probably will. I say that I don't know if I'm going to, but I probably will. At least for the first 6 months. And if I do it for the first 6 months, I'll probably do it for the last 6 months. But anyway, the only reason I say that is because I do enjoy knitting a pair of socks every month. But sometimes when I get into the mood to knit other stuff, like I was doing that color blender and I have a bunch of shawls I want to knit, and also I have a design project I'm working on, which I didn't make any progress on, so I'm not going to share that today. And I have some other news coming up of stuff that I want to work on, and I'll show you that later in the podcast when I do acquisitions. But with all of that, I only have time to make one pair of socks that month, and I have a ton of sock yarn from some amazing dyers. Nomadic Yarns, Cozy Knitter. I'm trying to think who else are some of my favorites. Coloring Book Yarns, Lolo Did It, Freckled Whimsy. I don't know. I have a ton. I can't name them all. And not to mention all my Knit Picks Fleechy yarn. I would love to knit. I have every single one of their colorways for all of their collections, I think, for the past 3 years. Maybe 2 years. And I would love to knit up some socks, but in those colorways, but I just don't have time a lot of times because I only have time to knit 1 to 3 pairs of socks a month. And one of those is always going to be Desert Vista Dye Works because I'm doing the knit along. So all that to say, I'm not sure that I'm doing the knit along next year, but I probably will because her yarn is fabulous too. Let's be honest. So this is the Poodle Skirt colorway, and I try to theme my socks with the month, and this month I was just like, I'm feeling the Poodle Skirt colorway, so that's what I'm going to knit. So this is Poodle Skirt. It's on her Zen base, which is her sparkle base. So it's a 70% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina, and it's gorgeous. And this is how it's knitting up. Guys, I love it. It goes black, white, gray, pink, black, white, gray, pink. So I am ready to put in a heel, and I'm probably going to do a gray heel because I stopped at the gray strand. The gray section. So I'm going to do a Knit Picks gray heel on this, whatever there. I think it's Stroll Fingering. Actually, I'll probably do the Glimmer since this is a shiny sock. So anyway, so I cast on the cuff last night, I think around 8 p.m. By 9 p.m. I was doing the leg. By 10:30 I was done with the leg and ready for the heel. So that tells you how long it takes me to make a sock. I was hoping to get the sock off the needles tonight, and I probably still will. You'll see in my next whip, I'll go ahead and tell you, I'll show you in a second, but I picked up my Cozy Memories blanket again, and I've been trying to do at least 2 squares a day on it, just because when I started my Cozy Memories blanket, I started on January 1st. And the idea was by December 31st, I wanted to have 365 squares on my blanket. As you know, the last couple months I haven't been working on it at all. And so I have a lot of catching up to do. So I've been trying to do at least 2 squares a day. That's not going to get me to where I need to be, but I know there's going to be days where I'm just going to want to work on that, especially in the winter and fall time, because there's days when that's all I want to work on is my Cozy Memories blanket. So I will get caught up before the end of the year. I'm promising myself that. But I've made some progress on it, and I haven't put my squares in for the day. So while I'm editing the podcast, I'm going to do at least 2 squares on that before I pop in the heel on these. So these probably won't be off the needles. And then after I put in the heel, I was going to swatch for a new project I'm going to show you, but I might wait until tomorrow night to do that. So let me show you my Cozy Memories blanket I worked on. I've only done, so I've been doing 2 squares a day for 3 days, so I have 6 new squares. So just since I haven't shown this in a while, I'm just going to kind of show you what I had done up until this point. I love this Cozy Memories blanket so much, so let me explain how I put this together. So, it's always fun to try to show this stuff. So from this square, if you count 10 across, so from this one all the way across to this one and up, so all of these up here are yarns that I've used in my projects that I've knit. And then from here, this square, which I think I'm showing you the back. It's probably easier if I show it to you upside down. So from here over to here and up on this side are all squares that people are basically minis that I received. Either I purchased them in in these Swapless Swaps, or people have gifted them to me, or they've included them with my order. I love this one. I would love some socks out of that. My cat, does anybody else's cat eat plastic and paper? Because mine does. He's random. Anyway, so that is how my Cozy Memories blanket's set up. So let me show you the 6 new squares that I put on. And they're all across the top here. And I finally got smart around here. And I started weaving in my ends as I go. Like knitting them in as I knit them, because before I was having to weave in all those ends and I just can't do it. So I'm knitting the ends in as I go. Anyway, so these socks I think were my March, maybe my May. They're either my April or May socks. They're Desert Vista Dye Works. And I just did 2 squares because the first square didn't get any of that yellow in. So I went ahead and did 2 squares so that I could get some of that yellow in there. And I just noticed this one had yellow here too. This is Knit Picks Fleechy. I don't remember the colorway name, but there were a lot of colors in it and they were long repeats, so I had to do 4 squares to get all the colors in. But anyway, so those 2 squares for that. And then these 4 are from my starting point knit along, mystery knit along, which I just showed you. So I have 4 of the 5 colors in there. I just have to add the purple today, and then the next one that'll go in is probably another pair of socks. But anyway, so I've almost got another 10 squares in on my blanket, so I count that as a success. So I add the squares on this side in the order that I knit the project. I don't know why. I guess it's just a neurosis I have. I'm not really worried about planning out colors or color pulling. As you can see, I knit with a lot of pink. There's a lot of green in there too, and blue. I think I knit with I actually think that I have a good, I knit with a lot of gray. A lot of gray, but I think I have a good variety of colors that I knit with. There's a lot of blue. There's a lot of blue here because this was like Christmas time, so I was knitting a lot of like wintry colors. And then obviously this is like spring here. Can you tell? Oh, these are like from my sweater that I knit right here. My first so faded sweater, my first sweater ever. We've got my doodler yarns in there, and some more sock yarn. This is Turtle Pearl yarns, and the We Aim to Misbehave. These were my St. Patty's Day socks for this year. There's a Hippo for St. Patty's, some Desert Vista Dye Work. I did a lot of St. Patty's Day socks, hence all the green. Anyway, so, oh, here's some really fun colors right here. These 4 colors right here are Dyed in the Wool Yarn Company. And this is what I knit my building blocks shawl out of, which I'll have to show you that too sometime. It's not my favorite shawl that I've knit, so I've never showed it. I enjoyed knitting it. I enjoyed knitting it a lot, but I don't like the way it looks, and it's not really a practical shawl to wear. So it's around here somewhere. But anyway, that is my Cozy Memories blanket, and to knit that, I purchased, it's been I think about a year ago now, I purchased some Signature straights in the 2.5 millimeter size with the stiletto tips because I like a sharp needle, and that's what I used to knit my Cozy Memories blanket. Okay guys, so I'm going to pause and I'm going to run and get my next whip because I forgot it downstairs, and maybe some water. I'll be back. Okay guys, so Levi gave me a lesson in showing stuff, showing what's on your phone on the podcast, and he always texts me when I'm podcasting and says, Levi, I'm podcasting, because the grocery girls always, Georgia walks by and they're always like, Georgia, I'm podcasting, and now Georgia has a yarn name after her. So now Levi texts me, Levi, I'm podcasting on every single one of the podcasts because he knows when I'm recording. So big old shout out to you. Hi Levi. Everybody say hi to Levi. So I took a break to call Levi and see what he was up to, which turns out he was being boring and working. So anyway, here's my last whip, and it is a spinning whip, in case you couldn't tell. And so I don't know that I've ever showed this on the podcast before. I might have. I can't remember. But basically, this is some roving that I dyed 2 years ago, and I started spinning it on my drop spindle, and it was taking me 1,000 years, so I transferred it onto my wheel, and you can kind of see where I was spinning on my drop spindle versus my wheel, because on my drop spindle everything was really overspun, and I was just learning how to spin, so it was like thick and thin. There really was no consistency. And then you come over here and you see that it's pretty consistent. I mean, this is the end. That's why this looks like this, is because that's the end. But it's pretty consistent. It's got a good ply to it, or a good twist to it. And it's at pretty much what I want it to be, which is a lace weight. So that way when I apply it, it'll be a fingering. So I was about halfway down the bobbin when I picked this up a few days ago. And I spun down here, and now I'm on my way back down this way again. And I'm a little over halfway done with it. I'm about 5/8 of the way. And the reason why I know that is because I split my braid into 8 strips. And I have 5 of the 8 done, so I have 3 left. And then I'll get to ply it. But I really love, this is actually my original unicorn rainbow. So if you watch Knit for Brains, Alicia has my unicorn rainbow colorway, and she is knitting it in her So Faded sweater. And this is actually the original item, because it wasn't yarn, but the original fiber that I dyed using those colors of dye in that order. So I dyed this 2 years ago, and then when I started dyeing yarn, I knew I wanted something similar. So anyway, I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I'm hoping to have it done, at least ready to be applied by the next podcast. So yay, spinning! The reason why I picked up my spinning is because I purchased a new bat at Wool Gathering this past weekend, and I really want to spin it. So in case I don't have enough fiber already, as you can tell from all these bats sitting up here and this little shelf of fiber right here, and I have a whole tote of fiber downstairs next to my spinning wheel. So I'm gonna take another quick break. I'm gonna reorganize because I have a ton of acquisitions to show you guys. I've been really good, but it's not gonna seem like it because I'm showing a lot of stuff at one time. Some of this stuff, okay, let's just say that prior to this past weekend at Wool Gathering, I had only had two, maybe 3 acquisitions to show you. 2 Yarny acquisitions and 1 stitch marker acquisition. After that, after Wool Gathering, the weekend of Wool Gathering, I also ordered a bunch of yarn for sweaters, which I'm going to talk about. And I fell down the David's Tea rabbit hole again, and somebody sent me a box, and I was not expecting the box, but it showed up today. So I decided I'm going to open it on the podcast. So I have no idea what's in it. It's from one of my friends on Instagram. Hi, Krissa. So let me organize and we'll get into everything. So I'm going to start. Hi. I was really close to you guys there. Whew. Okay. So I'm going to start with my tea acquisitions. I know not everybody's a fan of tea, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. But I got a new mug. Have you guys seen the new raccoon mugs from David's Tea? I'm obsessed with these Nordic mugs. And this is another, I showed my sheepy ones on the last podcast, or maybe it was 2 episodes ago. And this is another color changing one. So when you add hot water, the raccoon turns into the sky right here. And there's another one on the back. And it comes with this steeper that you just put your tea down in and then set it down in your cup, fill it up with hot water, and let it steep. And then when you're done, you can use the lid as a coaster for either your steeper or your tea mug. So I love these. They're so ingenious, and I have been enjoying the heck out of them. So with that, of course, I had to buy some tea. So the first one I bought was the Cinnamon Rubio Chai. And actually, this was free because if you spent so much money, you got a free bag of tea. So of chai tea, and this is the one I picked. This is my favorite chai tea that they have. This is probably one of the teas that got me into David's Tea to begin with. I think I had ordered the club for Vivid Yarn Studio, and she had included this tea with it, and that's how I fell in love with that. So this is Cinnamon Rubio's Chai, and then I got Vanilla Swirl. I've heard it tastes really good. I'm a vanilla person. I most of the time I put vanilla creamer in my tea, so I figured this was a good choice if I just want something plain, and it was on sale. It feels like there's a lot more than 2 ounces in here, to be honest. Because let me tell you, normally the tea is like right here, and I feel like they packed this thing full. I'll have to weigh it and find out. But anyway, so this was on clearance, and so I just threw it in my cart to try it out. And I also ordered their Chai Lovers collection because I think out of all the teas that I've tried from David's Tea, their chai tea is some of my favorite. I'm a cinnamon fan. So, chai tea, if you're not aware, is like a spice tea, and a lot of time it has that cinnamony flavor. So, I figured this was a good one to try, and they have a lot of new chai scents out. So, this one is the Cinnamon Rubio's Chai, which is actually what I have in this bag. But I figure I could always gift this container to somebody, or I could drink it all because I love it. It's my favorite. My dad's a big cinnamon person too, so I might actually give him one of these because this does have an entire ounce of tea in it. But I wish you guys could smell this. It literally smells like fall and Christmas. It smells so good. I love it. So there's that. This one I tried last night, and it is fan-freaking-tastic. Oh, it's so good. Can you guys see? This is called S'mores Chai. It is so good, and it smells amazing. It is so flavorful. It also came, this one doesn't smell as good. I'm hoping it tastes better because I love white chocolate. This one is white chocolate chai. It doesn't smell that great to me. But it looks like it has some cocoa beans in it. I don't know what this is. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't, I don't like the smell of it. It's too perfumey. I'm not a big fan of perfumey smelling teas. Typically, if they're perfumey, they taste flowery, and I don't like the flowery teas. So we'll see. I'll try that one eventually, and I'll let you know how I like it. And again, I mentioned this earlier. I'm not a pumpkin pie person, and in all honesty, I'm not really a pumpkin flavored person. But I will try this one. And I know a lot of you would go crazy for this. It's called Pumpkin Chai. And it's cute because they have like that little orange pumpkin, I don't know if you can, what are they called? Sprinkles in it. And it smells pretty good. It smells like fall. So I will try this one. So this is one I'm really disappointed about how it smells, so I hope it tastes really good because I was really excited to try the white chocolate chai, and then I smelled it and I was like, And I wasn't so excited to try the s'mores chai because I was like, how are they? Oh, this one is fantastic. I will, if I place any more David's Tea orders soon, which unless they come out with another mug that I'm crazy over, I probably won't because I have a ton of tea. Then, and I'll go to that in a second, but unless I place a David's, if I place an order soon, I will be getting a full bag of this. I do need to use up some of my fruit teas because somebody gave me a heads up on Instagram, and I'm not sure if you're a tea drinker and you have fruit teas, you may not be aware, because I know somebody had commented on the post saying that it was new information to them too as well, but any of the fruit teas do have an expiration date on them because it's kind of like fruit ferments, right? So I don't remember what the time period was, but just know that there is a time limit on fruit teas, so you need to be aware of that. Check the container to see if there's an expiration date and abide by that, or go on to David's Tea website and they do have an FAQ that lists the time frame on there. So if you're curious about what that date is, I can't remember. I want to say it was 6 months, but I don't want to say that and then you guys take me for my word and then it go back at 6 weeks or something and then you get sick and then you blame me because that would be bad. Don't blame me. So, crinkling. Okay. So, I have a couple acquisitions that came in prior to Wool Gathering, and actually even the weekend of Wool Gathering. So I purchased these from Ann Tudor. I purchased one for me and one for Levi, and I meant to give it to Levi at Wool Gathering, and I didn't, so I'm going to have to mail it to him. But check out the F-Bomb, guys. They're Progress Keepers, and they're F-Bombs. And if you've been watching my podcast for a while, you know that I dropped a major F-Bomb on a previous episode. and how to cover it up with an air horn. So I really love these. I think they're adorable, and I can't wait to use them on my next project. Use one on my next project. I ordered this a while ago. If you aren't aware already, this cedar box right here, and then I have another bucket off to the side, is filled with the Harry Potter colorways from Nomadic Yarns, and I added one to my, I normally buy one every couple weeks until I get them all, which I think I have, all of the ones she has, I have ordered. She may come out with more, and I'll just order them as she comes out with them, but I don't have them all here yet, because she does have, I think, 5 to 6 week turnaround time. But they're all ordered. So this one is called Amortentia. And this is on her Spark sock base. And this one is gorgeous. It's definitely a fall colorway. I'll have to knit these either this fall or next fall. But it's 438 yards per 100 grams, 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina. It's gorgeous. I love it. I can't wait to see how it knits up. So I'm going to, oh, no, because I got to add it to my stash on Ravelry before I add it to my bucket. I ordered the Lolo Did It Everyday Sock Hippo for Halloween colorway. This is one of my favorites that she's done. I think because it's just so different from the other ones, some of her colorways tend to be similar. Some of her hippo colorways are really similar. So for example, this may be completely made up, but some of the colorways used in Hippo for Valentine's was used in Day of the Dead, and vice versa, something around those lines. She uses a lot of the same colors in different colorways, and they're speckled differently, and she has a mix of colors in there that really remind you of the holiday, but they can tend to be really similar. And I really love this one because she uses this purple all the time, but she doesn't normally use this orange and this green. At least not that I've noticed in my skeins. And in addition to that, it seems like this colorway was more saturated than the other ones. I like how she did the green with the black speckles and the orange with the black speckles. So this one is definitely one of my favorites so far. And I have decided that I'm going to start putting the mini for the heels. So I ordered the Wonka colorway to go in as heels for this one. So yeah. And she has these new hippo. Every time I buy yarn from her, I just throw in a tape measure because they're fantastic for giveaways, as well as I'm always losing mine. So I always just throw in a tape measure because they're like $1.50 or $2. And she has these new hippo ones. So yay! I'll add that to my collection of tape measures. But so that's my second acquisition. And then my third one is, you guys, so I mentioned this before. I have a lot of guilt for how much yarn and fiber I have. And I was trying to cut back. And I think for me, I've done really well up until this past week. But I had also canceled my monthly subscription to the Cozy Knitter and Vivid Yarn Studio. But guys, my last month of Vivid came in, which is the September colorway, and I immediately went back on there and ordered next month's for October. I love her yarn so much. Her colorways are amazing. They come packaged beautifully, so they come like this, and she always sends some David's tea and a stitch marker. And, you know, there will come a day when I will choose to not order it. But for now, I couldn't live without it. And I also went back and reordered the Cozy Knitter yarn too. I don't know. Eventually I'll probably cancel both of them because it'll get to the point where it's just ridiculous. But for now, I'm guaranteed 12 skeins a year of each one that are just amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. One is self-striping and one is speckled, so I don't feel like I'm getting any, like, I know that they won't be anywhere near close to each other. So there are 2 clubs I know that I can order where they'll be completely different. And I know that I love their dye style. And, you know, the Cozy Knitter self-striping yarn, which I knit a lot of socks, so I'm guaranteed to get a nice pair of socks with whatever she sends. And if I don't like the colorway, it's perfect for a giveaway. And then with Vivid, her yarns are perfect to add to a solid color and make a 2 or 3 or 4 color shawl. So if you are subscribed to Vivid Yarn Studio Yarn of the Month and you haven't received your September Yarn of the Month, which most of you probably had, and you don't want to see what it looks like, turn away. And if you do want to see, guys, look, her speckle job is amazing. And not only does she do her speckles, but she does like these pops of color. Okay, so I'm gonna have to unwind this one. Alicia from Knit for Brains calls this making it naked. So I'm gonna make it naked. Okay, so this is more of the subtle side. So this just has the speckles. And then you turn it over and you've got the colored side. She's got, look, I didn't even see that purple in there. Purple and blue, and then the speckles are, and then the sparkle, her sparkle base is amazing, and her yarn itself is super, super soft. I am just speechless every time I get one of her clubs. I really am. And I feel like her last couple, I just started subscribing to her maybe 4 or 5 months ago. So I don't know if all of her club colorways have always been this way. But I feel like her colorways all really coordinate, her club colorways really coordinate with each other. Because I know the last 2 or 3 months that I got had this like bluish, baby bluish teal color in it. Like green, blue, ocean, whatever it's called color. So I could put those together and make a really cool shawl. But anyway, I adore her yarn. I adore her dye style. And so far, I have not had a single month out of probably 5 or 6 months where I didn't not love what she sent. I did have one Cozy Knitter, I think it was the most recent one, where I liked it, but it was a little more subtle than what I would normally go for, which is fine. I'm okay with getting one once in a while that I wouldn't normally pick out myself, because that's kind of the idea behind doing a mystery club in the first. And I know I didn't skein this up nearly as nicely as what it was when I took it out of the skein, but now you can see that purple. And look, there's even like some greenish yellow in here, some blues and red. I love it. I love it so, so, so much. I would highly recommend her club. And they're month by month. She does do a yearly one, but you can do it month by month. So there's no obligation. I just go into her Etsy shop every month and purchase the next month. So I'm really excited to see what October is. She sent me some Honeycrisp apple tea, which I will probably re-gift in one of my packages, only because I have a whole container of this. So, and I haven't tried it yet. I have it, but I haven't tried that one. So that's definitely going to be on my list this week to try out. And the stitch marker she sent, oh, I don't know if I mentioned the colorway is Spirit. She sent this little feather stitch marker. So I love this. It makes me think of fall. It makes me think, the colors don't make me think of fall, but when you say Spirit, I definitely see it in here. It reminds me of Pocahontas. Remember on Pocahontas, like the artwork where they would show the wind and the leaves blowing when she's singing Color of the Wind? And this reminds me of it. Like spot on. So then I think of Pocahontas and I think of the Indians and how they always had the feather caps. Not how the Indians always had the feather caps, but in the movie they had their feather caps and their little moccasins with the feathers on them. So she just nailed this. I love her kits so much. You can tell that she puts so much love and thought into them. And I was talking to Levi, and I think that's what sets some of us apart from other companies, is because you can tell that Julia from Vivid she puts so much love into every package she sends out. As you know, Levi's doing some fun stuff for his packages that are getting ready to go out. And I know with my packages, I normally always send a honeybee stitch marker, and I wrap them up, and I take a lot of time. I hand write out the labels for the yarn. It takes a lot of time for me to package up a package, because not only do that, but then I roll it in the tissue paper, and then I put it in the, I add some extra goodies, and I hand make all the stitch markers that go out. And it just, I told Levi, and this is what we were talking about the other day, is that we send out a package that we would want to receive. When I order yarn, I'm not just ordering it necessarily for the colorway. I'm ordering it for the experience that I know I'm going to get with that particular company I'm ordering from. I know that I'm going to be blown away when I get that package. When I receive a package, when I order yarn and I receive the yarn and it's just like some yarn thrown in a bag, I will still love that yarn, because obviously if I didn't love the yarn to begin with, I wouldn't have ordered the colorway. But I'm not going to be more likely, like, I'm not going to go back to that shop. I'm not going to be as likely to go back to that shop, because I'm not going to feel like they're putting their heart into the product that they're selling. And that's what me and Levi were talking about. We're not here just to make money. We're here to do what we love and share it with the community. And like I said, Julia is definitely an artist, and you feel that when you get her clubs. Anyway, I'm really happy with that. So that is the yarn that I received prior to wool gathering, and that's actually all the purchases that I had made up until that point. So let's talk about wool gathering. It was so lovely to meet some of you. The common theme was, I know Levi had already talked about this. So real quick, if I can figure out how to do the little eye in the corner, whichever corner it's going to be in, that links to another video, I will do it. I'll talk to Levi, see if he can help me out with that. But Levi and I met up with Amanda and Kelly of the Yarn Barfs. Hi, ladies. And we recorded a little podcast episode for you guys. It's about 30 minutes long, 35 minutes long. And Amanda and Kelly have the Yarn Barfs podcast on YouTube, and I think they only have 1 or 2 episodes. I know they only had one when we recorded the last episode, or when we recorded our little get together at wool gathering. They may have 2 up now. But anyway, go check out that video. It's a great introduction to them, and they're new podcasters, so go check them out. Go follow them on YouTube. And if you're like me, where you have to watch all the episodes before you get to the new ones, which Levi thinks is absolutely ridiculous. But if you're like me, then that's the perfect new podcast to check out, because like I said, they only have 1 or 2 episodes out. So go check out their podcast. Go check out the little video that we recorded with Levi at wool gathering. And I hope you guys enjoy it. So we had a blast at wool gathering. We got to meet many of you guys, and so I want to thank everyone who came up to say hi, whether we had a long conversation or just a short like hi-bye conversation. It was really great to actually meet all you guys. And it was a little weird to have somebody come up to you who knows so much about you and you know nothing about them. I loved getting to talk with you guys and meet you guys, but if I seemed shy or offstandish, I apologize. I was just trying to warm up to the idea of having a conversation with somebody I've never met before. So we met quite a few Dawns. For some reason, it seemed like everybody we met had the name of Dawn. There was this, I believe it was the second Dawn we met. She was there with her sister. We got to meet her sister, which they look so much alike, except for I think one had like blonde hair and one had like a darker brown hair. And her sister's not a knitter, so she came up to us and she was like, "Oh my God, Levi, Melissa, I'm so excited to meet you." And she said, "I love you guys. I was talking about you all the way up because they're from Cincinnati. And she's like, my and her sister just rolls her eyes and was like, oh my god, we couldn't get her to shut up about you guys. So it was so nice to meet her, and she had some fantastic ideas for some colorway names for yarn. So I told her, I told Levi, I was like, she needs to be like our creative director, whatever. I'm terrible at I'm great at designing the colorways. I love the colorways I make. I will never make a colorway that I don't feel like represents me, or what I love to do. And I feel like, I'm really good at making those colorways. Like, so all the yarn that I make, I would knit with, basically. You would find it in my stash. But I'm not good at coming up with colorway names. So, anyway, it was really nice to meet her and her sister, and I can't wait to schedule some sort of knitting meetup where I can actually sit down and knit with her and have some time to get to know her and stuff, because it was fantastic meeting you. So, hi, Dawn. So that was a lot of fun. We had so much fun at Wool Gathering. We were tired and hot and cranky by the end of it. We were done. So Levi and I walked around all the tents and booths, and we kind of scoped out what we wanted to buy. And then while my husband went and reserved a table for us over at the Golden Jersey Inn, which is the restaurant that they have on site, they have home-cooked food that is just, it is so good. So anyway, he went and reserved a table for us because it was like an hour-long wait, and Levi went back through and made all of our purchases. So there were two things that I had saw on the walkthrough that I had to have. Sorry for the crinkling. Oh, the first time I walked through, I did stop at one shop because I knew for a fact that I was going to buy from there, and that's Tough Woolens. And I bought some chapstick, and then I bought another lotion bar. And this one is called Spiced Pear Cider, and it smells so good. It reminds me of their chai, I can't remember, chai spice. But it's got that hint of pear in it, and my husband really liked this one. So that's what I bought. And then I bought a chapstick, which I think is downstairs. But anyway, so there are two things that I had to have that I purchased and on the second go around. And the first one, Levi was like, why are you buying a kit? You have plenty of yarn. You can make your own kit. I don't care. I wanted the kit. So I purchased the kit to make this cow. So I think it's called the Baba hat, was the big craze that was going around last year. And I had been this close to purchasing a kit probably 100 times, and I never did. The reason being, I'm not really good at making hats. I'm not good at my tensioning, especially with color work. Normally I have to knit a hat 2 or 3 times when it comes to color work before I get it to the right size. And second of all, I wanted it to be for me, because for me, with the sheep and that, well, the hat doesn't have the alpaca, but with the sheep on the hat, it makes it very personal because I am a knitter, and I would either want to knit it for myself or another knitter. And typically, you don't knit for other knitters. They knit for themselves, unless you ask them or talk to them ahead of time, or it's something where you know they want it but they don't want to knit it. So I knew that the hat, if I was going to make it, would be for me, but I don't wear hats. So when I saw this cow kit, I knew I had to get it. And of course, I had to get the pink one. So this is called the Alpaca Cow for Rhinebeck cow kit. So do you get it? Alpaca cow. And they added an alpaca to the pattern in between all the little sheepy. So I don't even know what brand of yarn this is. I didn't ask. They just had the kit put together. It was $20 for the kit, so I feel like it was really affordable. And it's a gorgeous cow. And I asked her, I said, I'm not going to mention the shop name, mainly because I don't remember. I really don't remember the name of the shop. But I will say that her customer service skills could use some work. At the end of the day, if I went back in time and I really thought about it, I wouldn't have purchased anything from her, because I had politely asked. I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just trying to figure out if I needed to buy one of these kits or two of these kits, because I like a big cow. And I said, "Are you sure there's enough yarn in here to make the cow? Because it doesn't look like there's that much yarn, but it looks like a rather large cow." And they had a sample there that was knit up that looked rather large. And she was like, "I have sold," I don't know if she said hundreds, but "I have sold hundreds of these kits and not a single person has ever complained that there wasn't enough yarn or that they ran out of yarn." I was like, okay, that's all I wanted to know. And that's what I said. I said, I was just trying to figure out if I needed to buy two or if one would do it. And because I don't mind buying two, I want the finished product. I just wanted to make sure that I only needed one. My husband was with me. And he had told me afterwards, he was like, when she said that and the way she said it, I was like, let's just leave. Like, I didn't even want you to purchase from her because I felt like she was just being really rude. So, that was an interesting experience. And, you know, I will say, benefit of the doubt, there were a lot of people there. She had probably answered that question 20 times that day. So it was hot. There wasn't any airflow. A lot of people crowded into a tent that's, you know, who knows? I'm sure that she was just having a rough day. However, I will say that if you're a vendor and you're going to a fair like that, you should probably expect to be asked questions such as the one I asked millions of times all day long. And I don't know. I just felt like you should be prepared for questions like that and not be snappy with people, because if it was anybody else, they probably wouldn't have purchased it and they probably would have walked out of your booth, because there was a booth on the other side selling the exact same kits. Just throwing it out there. Anyway, so she also had these mugs for sale, and she had said that Levi had originally purchased one on our first walk around. It was the only thing he had purchased on our first walk around. And he had purchased this mug, and he purchased the black version. I got the pink and red version. And they're super, super cute mugs. But she had said they were from a pottery company that had went out of, or a potter that had went out of business. And it's super cute, and right here it says, "How you doing?" I love this mug. I love it so much. And they were, what we thought, really affordably priced. They were only $12. And for a mug like this that, you know, looks like it was done by handmade by a potter, whatever, that's a good price. A lot of times, handmade mugs go for $50. Maybe $30, $40. So anyway, it's a cute mug. I'm glad I have it. But Levi messaged me and he's like, "We got ripped off with those mugs." And I was like, "Why?" And apparently you can get these on World Market, which she had tried to black out. But when you peel the sticker off the bottom, it kind of takes off the nail polish that she used to black it out. You could get them on World Market's website, and you can get them 2 for $13. And we paid $12 for one. So she is making a huge profit on these mugs. And honestly, I was really close to buying a set of them online. But shipping was like $5, and I just didn't feel like it was worth it right now. I'm good with just the one. So, eventually I might order a set for like a giveaway or something, but, for now. So yeah, if you want this mug, go to worldmarket.com or Google World Market, and you can buy the set of the pink and the black one for $13 plus about $5 in shipping. When I bought one for $12. So anyway, super cute mug. I'm still happy with the mug, and overall $12 isn't a horrible price. That's probably what I would pay a Pier 1 for a mug like this, so it's not a big deal. But just a heads up. So, the only other yarny thing that I bought besides this at Wool Gathering, and I stayed under budget, guys, I was super proud of myself, is this this. I love it. So this is hand spun, and it's from Dyed in the Wool hand spun hand dyed yarn. And this is 250 yards of DK, 100% merino hand spun yarn. It's called Midnight Rainbow, and it was only $15. $15 for a skein, 250 yards of hand spun is crazy. That's crazy talk. I couldn't spend this. I couldn't find fiber for under $15 to be able to do this. So I purchased it. I was really caught in between because they had another version of this that had the white instead of black. And I almost purchased that because they had 2 skeins of it, and I was thinking I could do like a shawl or something with it. But I figured DK's fine. I'll make a hat. Ooh, this would be a really cool hat. Or some fingerless mitts, or maybe a cow. I don't know. I'll make something fun with it. So yeah, purchase that. The last thing, oh my god. I am on a rainbow kick lately. And okay, so this is really deformed because I took it out and I opened it up. So I'm going to show it to you in the bag first. Let me get her card. This is called Sassy Bee Fibers. And it's Polworth. It is a bat for spinning. The color is rainbow. And the fiber is Polworth, and the weight is 4.7 ounces. My husband and Levi were telling me that I couldn't buy from them because they were a competitor because they're called Sassy Bee Fibers. But, of course, their name and their logo is one of the reasons I purchased from them, because how could you not? So I opened this bat up, and because I opened it up, it stretched out, and I couldn't get it nearly as nice as what they had it. So, but I do want to show you guys, because if you've never seen a bat, this is how they look. Oh, that pink and all these colors just go so well together. And it is kind of separating, so this one's like really stretched out. And I try to smush it together and roll it back, but it doesn't want to go back. It's just not happy with me. It's like, why did you take me out of my shell if you're not going to spin me? Which I am. This is going to be the next thing I spin. 100%. So there's that, and it actually came with another one. So it's 4.7 ounces. So here's this is what it looked like to begin with before I opened it up, and then it stretched out and it looked like a giant caterpillar as opposed to a baby caterpillar. So I will be spinning that up. That's so awful. I'll be spinning that after I finish the spinning project I showed you guys today. I'm all about the rainbows lately. And then I got a few little, so Destination Yarn, she's always one of my favorite boats to go look at. I've never purchased any of her yarn. It just seems like every time I go, the colors don't speak to me, and I have a problem. Okay, so if you're a vendor, which I doubt that anybody that vends yarn actually watches my podcast, but if you're thinking about vending, one of my biggest pet peeves is not having a price sticker on your product. The reason why, and I'm talking specifically on your product, not like just a sign hanging up above your product. It's really busy. It's crowded. People want to purchase your product, but they don't want to have to ask how much it costs, and they don't want to have to wait to ask you how much it costs before they make a decision. It makes the whole transaction awkward. So a lot of times when I go to fairs and festivals, if they don't, unless it's something I love and I have to have, if there's not a price on the product itself, I don't buy it. I just move on because I don't want to wait to ask. There's normally too many people around, and I don't know. I just feel awkward asking, and so I just keep on moving. So Destination Yarn, she unfortunately doesn't have price tags on her items. I probably would still purchase from her even without the price tag. Oh, and the reason why I say have it on your product and not just a sign is because you're going to have customers come in and pick up stuff and then set it down elsewhere. It's rude, I know, but people do it. And so I don't want to pick up a skein of yarn that I think is $22 and get up to the cash register and find out it's $32. Not that I'm above paying $32 for a skein of yarn. It's just when I'm expecting $22 and it rings up $32, it's frustrating. So anyway, put your stickers on your yarn. I I don't know why I'm so ranty today. Anyway, moving on. So Destination Yarn, I would have purchased from her had it not been for the fact that she didn't have price tags on her stuff. There was a mini skin kit I was really close to just buying as an impulse purchase. Which when I got home, I looked at the mini skin kit online, and it was like $58 for 10 mini skeins, and I'm not paying $58 for mini skeins. It's not happening. So I would not have bought it even if she had a price marker on it, because I wasn't that in love with it. But anyway, her yarns are gorgeous. She's based in Ohio, and she does have all of her yarn names are based off of travel. And I will buy from her eventually. I just haven't found the perfect yarn of hers that I want to purchase yet. Eventually there'll be something, because she's at all the festivals I go to because she is based in Ohio. So eventually I will see something that I have to have, and I will purchase it. But she did give me a button. She's super nice. I love her. I follow her on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. So there is also Oink Pigment. That is a new one. I don't recall seeing it. Now that I think about it, it may have been in Kentucky, but I can't quite remember. Levi purchased this skein from her that if she had two, I would have purchased it as well. Called Bee's Knees, and it's like this Grello. It's like the perfect gray and yellow combination, and it was sparkle. She had one that wasn't sparkle, but I definitely wanted the sparkle one. And I didn't really want to get the same yarn as Levi. That's kind of boring. So Levi, I mean, he saw it and he picked it up and was like, mine. So he got it. So you'll have to tune into his podcast to see how it looks. It's called Bee's Knees, which is a super cute name. And what else? Oh, I bought these. They had the Yarnbirds truck there. And I saw Yarnbirds for the first time when I went to Kentucky. And they have these, and you can get them online. They're from, Retromantic Fripperies, I think, or if you know the name of the shop, comment below, because the stamp is a little blurry on mine and I can't see the shop name, but they had one. I'm a Saints fan and I love New Orleans, and I've never been, but I've always been obsessed with the history of New Orleans. And when I go to New Orleans, I could probably walk you through I don't want to say every, but I could take you to all the cool places because I researched them so much. Like, I could probably walk you there or drive you there because I know, like, what roads intersect where and all this other stuff. And I know exactly how to get to them just because I have researched and planned so much for my trip when I go there. I haven't been there because when I go, it's going to be an epic trip. I want to do everything. So I just haven't gone yet. But they had a fleur-de-lis, I think it's called, and it's a needle gauge, and I was looking for it this time. I know they sell it online, but I didn't see it. I was looking for it in the truck and I didn't see it, but Levi did point out this, and it's a beehive. So I had to have this. So I've been actually looking for a needle gauge because I have some needles that, my interchangeables, the needle size has rubbed off on them. They're not engraved or etched, and they've rubbed off, so I needed one of these, and this was the perfect one to purchase. So it's super cute, and they have these adorable little scissors. You can never have too many scissors. Super fun. They're called Slip and Snip. So they literally just fold up and they're fun to play with. You know how you're not supposed to play with scissors? I've been playing with these all week. Don't tell anybody. So that's my wool gathering acquisitions. I have more stuff to show. I have two really big boxes sitting next to me that I haven't opened. I know what's in one of them, and the other one's a complete surprise. But I mentioned, I'm going to move this one over here. I'm going to have to stop recording and open this because I haven't opened it yet. But I mentioned I ordered some sweaters worth of yarn from Knit Picks. So, Friday, Saturday, I don't know what day, one of those days, Levi sends me a picture of one of the Colorwork sweaters in the new Knit Picks magazine, which I had but had not opened because I was afraid I was going to buy stuff. And I immediately went out and bought the book because they're 40% off right now, and it's called Encircled, and it has 10 Colorwork sweater patterns in it. And I promptly made an order with Knit Picks for 2 of the sweaters, which is what's in this box. Then the next day, I'm admiring, I think it was the day after wool gathering or the night after that night. I'm too tired to knit. It was that night because I was too tired to knit, but I wanted to look at the sweater that I had ordered yarn for, the 2 sweaters that I ordered yarn for. And I was looking through the magazine, and then I came across another sweater that was not in the book that I ordered that I have to have. So I immediately went out and bought that book and went out and bought the yarn for that sweater. And then I'm talking to my husband about how I need a new winter wardrobe for work. And I'm looking online at cardigans and sweaters that I could buy for work. And all of them are $50, $70 a piece. And I'm like, I can knit a sweater with Knit Picks yarn. I can knit a sweater for $35. Between $35 and $40. So, I ordered 2 more sweaters worth of yarn. So, I have ordered 5 sweater quantities worth of yarn in the past 5 days. I have a problem. This is all Levi's fault because, first of all, he's making the VJJ sweater, which, if you don't know what the VJJ sweater is, go check out his podcast. But it's absolutely gorgeous, and he's almost to the Colorwork section, and I'm super excited because that means he's almost done with it, and I can't wait to see how it turns out because it looks amazing. And so that's got me wanting to do Colorwork, first of all. And second of all, Brooke Knits. If you don't know who Brooke Knits is, you need to go find her podcast and follow her. She's Brooke Knits on Instagram and on YouTube. She's an amazing person. She did a sweater marathon last weekend where she tried to knit a cabled sweater in 24 hours while live streaming it on YouTube, all of which to raise money to help hurricane victims. Her goal was to raise $500. This girl is so amazing. She raised $1,000 for hurricane victims. And I was hooked. I got home from wool gathering. I saw the post. She said, hey, at 7 p.m. I'm starting this. I think I saw the post from Ann Tudor because while she was staying up for 24 hours straight, she would interview other makers and knitters just to kind of keep some interest in it. People interested in watching the live stream. And I was hooked. I literally probably watched it for a total of 8 hours. That night I watched it for a few hours, and then the next day I hopped back on and watched it for a few hours. I may have even watched it longer than that because I was knitting the entire time. So I don't know exactly how long I watched it for, but I was addicted. And girl stayed up for 24 hours, and I am super proud of her. She didn't finish her sweater, but hell, I wouldn't be able. No, I don't think anybody in their right minds would be able to knit a cabled sweater with no sleep. I can barely knit in 24 hours. Anyway, so she gave me an idea. So Brooke is amazing, and she knit a sweater. She tried to knit a sweater in 24 hours, all for charity. And sorry, I'm talking while I'm trying to open this box. And I bought all these sweaters, quantity worth of yarn. And I need to actually knit them for winter because I spent my wardrobe money on yarn for sweaters so that I can wear sweaters to work. So I need to knit them. This Friday is Maven, which is a holiday, and my husband celebrates it. And so we're cooking up a bunch of food on Friday, so we're going to have a ton of leftovers for this weekend, so I'm not going to have to cook all weekend, which means I'm not going to have all the cleanup to do. So I have decided, for fun, and also my husband's going to Halloween Haunt on Saturday at Kings Island with my niece and nephew, which I don't go to. So I've decided to try to knit a sweater in 24 hours myself. And I'm going to document it on Instagram through photos and live videos. Maybe a live video on YouTube, but I'm not going to do a live stream, and I'm not doing it for charity. I'm just doing it for fun. By all means, if you want to donate money to a charity in my name, feel free. That's such an honor, and you know, pick your charity and pick your amount. Go for it. But I'm not doing this for charity. I'm just doing it to see if I can do it. I'm going to start out with the goal of knitting it in 24 hours, but I am going to, if for some reason, if I get super tired, I'm not going to make myself crazy and go cross-eyed over it. I'm normally pretty good at staying up through the night, so I think I can do it in 24 hours, but if I can't, then my goal will be to get it done. I'll have a secondary goal of getting the sweater done in a weekend. Because if I can do that, then I could just plan a couple weekends where all I do is knit on the sweaters and end up with hopefully 5 sweaters worth of yarn by November or December. I at least want to have 2 or 3 of them knit by December. So let me quickly show you the yarn. I don't have the patterns here to show because I bought the ebook and I haven't printed them out yet. But one of the sweaters is a sport weight sweater. So I have Wool of the Andes Sport, and the other sweater is a worsted weight sweater. So the one I'm starting with is actually a black sweater with some, it's called the Bubbles cardigan, or Bubbles pullover, and it's it's really simple color work. It's top down, so you get the color work out of the way to begin with, and then it's just straight knit. So I think it's the perfect one to pick for this marathon session I'm gonna have. You guys, I'm nuts. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. So the sweater that I'm knitting this weekend is worsted, and it's black with some color work. So I have a huge box of knit picks, and then the other sweater that I'm doing is actually a white sweater with color work, so it'll be a nice neutral either way I go. So they kind of just mix, because I ordered all the yarn together, they just mixed them up in different bags, so not everything is oh, I see what they did. So here's the black for the first sweater, the white for the second sweater, and then some of the white and the black for both sweaters, along with the colors for the color work. And I will lay everything out and show everybody the sweater along with the colors I'm using on Instagram. And now that I think about it, I'm so original. I stressed myself out enough with knitting 5 sweaters for this winter, that I just went with the colors that were on the pattern picture. So if you look up the cardigan or the pullover on Knit Picks, the colors that they show it out of is the exact colors I'm using. So there's 2 sweaters worth. I have not received the other 3. 2 of them I just ordered yesterday, and 1 of them I ordered the day before that, so they'll be trickling in this week. So I was going to swatch for the 24-hour sweater tonight, but I'm actually going to do it probably tomorrow night because it's 5:15, and I need to edit the podcast, I need to put some squares in my blanket, and I need to work on my socks because I'm obviously not going to have time to do my Desert Vistas dye work socks this weekend because I'm going to be busy knitting a sweater in 24 hours. Guys, I might be a little crazy. So if you are in a different time zone, or if you are a night owl, I welcome you to stay up with me and keep me engaged on Instagram and YouTube or whatever, because I'm going to need some company to keep myself awake. I think I'm going to get a good night's sleep Friday night. And I normally don't go to bed until really late on Friday night, so I'd say by the time I get all my chores done and stuff, I'll probably start about 10 or 11 a.m. I'll put my first post up around that time prior to casting on, and then I'll go until 10 or 11 the next day. I will probably sleep for a few hours. I don't know. I may not. It just depends on whenever I get tired, I'll sleep. So I'm not gonna like kill myself to do this, but I'm gonna do my best to get as much of it done as I can in 24 hours. And who knows, Saturday might come around and I might be like, forget it, I'm not doing it. We'll see. Anyway, I'm excited. Wish me luck. And also the What the Fade clue comes out tomorrow, and normally I spend my weekends working on that. So I may not have Clue 4 done. Next, not have Clue 4 done by next week's podcast, but she takes a week off next week because the Speckle Pop knit along is starting with Stephen West next Friday, which I am also doing that. You guys, apparently I'm just gonna knit my life away because that's all I'm gonna do is knit. So my last acquisition, I don't know what it is. I just got this box today. I don't want to show you the address, but I was cracking up with these stamps. I love it. I love how many stamps are on. It's a gorgeous package. So my friend Krissa, hi Krissa, lives in Kentucky, and she ordered her first indie dyed yarn a few weeks ago, and she ordered it for me. I was so thrilled that it was such an honor that she picked me. And she ordered, I think, 3 or 4 skeins for me. And I still owe her a skein, which I haven't forgot about Krista. I just probably will be dyeing. I might dye this. I might dye on Sunday. It depends on how the sweater thing goes. Otherwise, I'll spend some time dyeing next week. But anyway, so I sent her the yarn, and she apparently decided to send me a thank you package. I messaged her when I got the package and I was like, what did you do? What is this package? I was not expecting anything from you. What the heck? And so I decided I would open it live on the podcast since it came today. It hasn't even been cut open yet. So I'm going to do that now. And she did, she really did not have to send me anything. But I will say that getting mail from your friends is one of my favorite things in the world. So, I'm going to take a quick, I'm not looking to see what's in there, but I did see a note, so I'm going to take a quick minute and read the note real quick. I'll cut this part out of the podcast. Guys. Okay, so it's a good thing that I am on the rainbow train because, guys, she sent me some rainbow yarn. Oh my god. Thank you so much. So, I've never heard of this yarn before. It's called Cadia or Kyoto. I'm assuming that it's maybe, it's made in Italy. I've never had any yarn dyed in Italy before. And it is 50% wool. Sorry, it's like in a couple different languages, so I'm trying to decipher it. Look at that color, guys. Oh my god. Okay. Focus. 50% wool, 44% acrylic, and 6% polyamide. Guys, are these not my colors? And have I not said how I've been on the rainbow train? Did you not just see the bat I bought? Oh my gosh, Krista, thank you so much. I am so excited. These are 50 grams, I believe. Let me see. What does it say? 120 yards per 50 grams. This is going to be a scarf for my niece. I already know, because my niece is also a rainbow freak, and she loves when I make her scarves, and this is the perfect, she needs a new scarf for winter. It's the perfect amount of yarn for a scarf, and it's the perfect weight for a scarf. So these are going to be put to really good use, and I love them so much. Thank you, guys. Look at them. She hand makes these, okay, and she has a shop on Etsy. It's Krissa's Creations, and she is Krissa Chellon on Instagram, and Krissa, it's KRISSA_Chellon on Facebook. Here's her business card. How freaking cute is that? And she sells her crocheted items. Look at this flamingo. This thing is so adorable. How do you even knit something or crochet something that tiny? The amount of work that, I mean, she even has stuff down in it to make it look like mulch in like a little flower pot. That is so adorable. So cute. And then, look guys, she crocheted this change purse. These, the fact that, oh my gosh, I love receiving handmade stuff. I really do. This is super, super cute. This is definitely going, I don't carry a purse. I carry a project bag, but I always need something to put like my cards and my, you know, my change down into. So this is definitely going to be added to whatever project bag I'm carrying around. So I don't crochet, so I really definitely appreciate getting crocheted items, because this is something I would want that I could if I took the time to figure it out, but I don't want to. Something that I can't make for myself. So thank you so much. It's my favorite thing. Oh, this is so cute. It's a hippo. You guys, look how cute he is. Oh my gosh. Look at his little teeth and his little toes. His little eye. Oh my god, I love it so much. Thank you so much, Krissa. Oh, it's so adorable. He's going to sit up on the shelf with Helga. I'm going to have to name him. Okay, guys, I need a name for my new hippo. If you have any ideas, he's definitely a boy because because Helga needs a friend. So help me, look how, oh my gosh, Krissa, you are so talented. Thank you so much, Krissa. I don't even know what to say. These are such a lovely package. And you seriously did not have to do this, but it is very, very much appreciated. And I love the theme here with all the rainbow and the bright colors and just things that make me smile. And every time I see these crocheted animals and the change purse, it's going to make me smile and think of you. So thank you so, so much. Thank you very much for the letter. I'm not going to read the letter because it is personal, but I just want to let you know, Chris, I feel the exact same way. I really do. So I'm so happy to have met you through this amazing community. And you guys, you guys know that I went through a rough couple of weeks, and if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be in a good place that I am right now. I would still be down in my slump. So thank you so much. You guys are so amazing. And please go check out Krissa's shop. She's Krissa's Creations on Etsy. She's got some, I've looked in her shop before. She has some really gorgeously handmade items. So if you're looking for a stuffy or a toy for a little special kid in your life, or you know, just a trinket to put up on the shelf, check out her shop. She's got some pretty cool stuff in there. So thank you so much. I can't say thank you enough. I think that's it. I gotta clean up. It's a mess. We're at 2 hours and 10 minutes, which for you guys will probably be 1:45 because I added a lot out of the podcast. And there were a few phone conversations I'm going to have to edit out. Weekend review. I pretty much just said it as I went along. There's been a lot of crafting going on. I've been watching a ton of podcasts. I was almost caught up, and then some amazing people put up some more podcasts, so I've got to get caught up again. I've been watching Star Trek, the original one with Captain Kirk. I am a Trekkie, I'm a Next Generation fan, and I've seen every episode of Next Generation at least twice. Some of them I've seen probably 15 times, but I know I watched the full series from start to finish twice, and I've never seen all of the original Star Trek or any of the spin-offs, so I've started to watch the original Star Trek. And I never started it before because I didn't think that I would like it. Because from what I understood, if you're a Next Gen fan, you don't like the original. And if you're an original fan, you don't like Next Gen. So I never watched it because I didn't want it to ruin Star Trek for me. But I actually really like it. Taking into consideration how much older those episodes are from Next Gen, I would say that I wouldn't say that I like it more than Next Gen, but I would say that I like it as much as Next Generation. The reason why I don't like it more than is because I feel more related, like more invested in the characters in Next Generation than I do in the original Star Trek. For example, Data. I have an emotional attachment to Data. Geordi LaForge, like, he is the guy from Reading Rainbow, which was one of the reasons I became such a big reader growing up. Captain Picard, he was one of my first crushes. Like, I had a huge crush on Captain Picard when I was younger. Still do. He's good looking for his age. Anyway. So, all that to say, oh, and by the way, had I seen the original Star Trek when I was younger, I would have had a crush on William Shatner because he was hot. I don't think I ever realized, like, I knew that William Shatner played Captain Kirk, but I never realized how hot Captain Kirk was until I started watching the episodes, and I'm like, oh, drooling over him. Probably too much information, but I don't care. So Izzy's telling me that she has to go to the bathroom, so I'm gonna sign off now. It was great to sit and chat with you guys for a while today, and let me know what you think about my sweater in 24-hour idea, and let me know if you guys want to participate. I'm not expecting anybody to knit a sweater with me in 24 hours, but if any of you happen to have a sweater quantities worth of yarn and want to take on that challenge, let me know, and we can kind of chat back and forth while we're working on our sweaters this weekend. If anybody just wants to knit with me, if anybody is interested in a live video on either Instagram or YouTube, let me know. Like I said, it'll start probably Saturday morning. I won't do a 24-hour stream, and I'm not going to do a live stream for the entire time. If I do one, it'll probably be 30 or 40 minutes, and it'll be Saturday evening because my husband will not be home. And like I said, I'm just doing it for fun. I'm not doing it for charity or anything like Brooke did. But anyway, who knows? If I have enough interest and if I have enough people tune into the live videos or comment on the post enough, I might do some giveaways. So stay tuned. I need a name for this guy, so don't forget that. And I think that's it. Oh, don't forget to go check out that video on Levi's page of Levi, myself, and the ladies from Yarn Barf. And don't forget to go subscribe to Yarn Barf or WTF Knitting if you haven't done that already. And I think that's it. Okay, I'm going to go now. Have a great week, guys. Bye.
Look, excuse me, don't touch it.
You just make sure they stay in.
They're at the very first pin part of
Oh, that one dog getting backfired. Through his tail. He's like, yeah,
So, listen. Yes. And I'm a little like, overwhelmed now with how many sweaters quantity worth of yarn. I just, like, it's just now kind of hitting me that this is box 1 of 3. You really don't understand, like, how many balls of yarn are in a sweater until it comes to you in a big old box. You're like, how does 12 skeins look? Well,
That's how it looks, and it all comes in a nice, neat package. And
Right.
they said you can completely
you're breaking
like.
it. Anyway.
My partner's on the internet. Are you there?
Yeah, what'd you say?
I know. And then, like, when I got the ones for my sweater, I had ordered 30 balls.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I haven't even opened this box, but it's a huge box and it's like exploding. Like, the package is like protruded. And it's only 2 sweaters, and I've ordered 5. Why didn't you say stop, Melissa? Like, don't do that. No more.
I tried to control. You're out of control.
I know. I did so good at wool gathering, and then I came home and I was like, it's on.
You're like, listen, the wool piggery is real, honey.
Yeah.
I'm about to be a mom today. Don't worry about it.
All right, well, I'll let you go. I just wanted to take a break because that's what we do. Okay.
Oh, hey, man, don't leave like this. I gotta take 20.
Exactly. This is like a full-time job in itself. It's break time.
You should put in there. I had to take a break.
I had to take a break and call Levi. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.